The Lake Ontario water levels are at the highest levels it's been in recorded history, which means that the Toronto Islands are actually flooded. So we're headed over there right now to show you guys what the flooding looks like. So behind us is Olympic Island. This is actually the lowest lying island out of all the Toronto Islands. So as you can see, it's completely flooded. This is one of the only spots that's completely underwater. You actually can't access this island. You can't walk through it. You can't go on it. But the funny part is that Center Island is right there. So Center Island connects to Olympic Island. And there are people walking around freely there as if nothing happened. But then if you look here, it's underwater. All the chairs, all the benches, even some trees are in the water as well. I'm actually really sad about this one. So if you look down here, those are the train tracks to the train ride in the Centerville amusement park. So it's completely submerged underwater. This is one of the rides that's going to be closed, as well as the bumper boats and the swans. We just got off on Ward's Island, and as you can see, there's a whole perimeter of sandbags trying to keep the water from overflowing, and this pretty much goes the whole way down. If you look this way, you have like the boats lined up here, then you have the overflow of water, but the sandbags are doing a pretty good job because the path and everything here is still completely clear. So we've been seeing a lot of cyclists go by, a lot of people walking by. So if you're cycling on or you're walking by, all you gotta do is avoid a couple of puddles. Right now, we're on our way to talk to a couple of business owners to see how this entire flooding situation has been affecting their businesses. So let's go. So in terms of the flooding that's happening in the islands, how has it been affecting your business, or like business for everyone on the island and residents as well?
For businesses, it's been really tough because we do rely on mostly visitors coming to the island. For the residents, it's also been tough too. I mean, some of my neighbors' crawl spaces have been flooded and they've had a bit of damage here and there. Overall, I think we're trying to stay really positive and be proactive. The island community just come together. And I mean, as you can see, yeah, there are some flooded areas, but also there's lots of places to enjoy. The island is very accessible still. And like I said, with the efforts from the city and the residents, sandbagging and installing the pumps and whatnot, it's made it that much more possible for people to come over and enjoy it like they normally do.
2 years ago was very difficult for residents, for tourists coming over to the island, and for businesses. This year feels a lot more calm. People were more prepared for the high water and kind of just knew what to expect, which made people feel a bit more relaxed about it. The city's done a really good job of keeping the ferries running. The island is still very much a great resource to come enjoy, despite the high water. You can see, looking around here, over the weekend, the park here was filled with people playing frisbee and picnicking. The beach was filled with people at Ward's Island. People were walking around and really enjoying the island for the park that it is.
More than half of Toronto's swimmable beaches are closed. So what exactly does that mean?
Well, what that means is that the city isn't monitoring the beach. So there's no lifeguards, they're not checking the water quality. The beach is not closed. People can still go. It's a public space. You can go as you please.
And then in terms of ferry service, is that limited towards those beaches?
Well, what they've done now is they've stopped the ferry service to Hanlan's, but people can still access it by taking a water taxi. There's a misconception that because of the flooding that the island is closed, and that's not the case. The island's actually open for business. All the businesses are operating. Everybody's out here, and we just want people to come out.
So we're done walking around the islands, and from what we saw, the flooding is mainly just on the perimeters of the island. So once you go more inland, it's really not affected as much. So you can still come down, you can do your activities, you can go for a stroll. So on a bright and beautiful sunny day like today, this is still a great place to be.